So we have a few guests in house today that we're going to get to over the course of the day today, even though it's a little bit sparse. So you guys that are kind of hanging in the wings, come on in and get a seat right now. And we're going to bring up the lovely and talented. But don't roll your eyes at me. You know you're both of those things.
I know, but I'm not like a guest.
No, not a guest. No. You are. Compared to you, I'm a guest. What are you talking about?
Where's my pick?
Oh, we got it. I'll give you a pickle. Here, the lovely and talented Bobby Noreen, everybody. Here, take the mic. You don't want to miss a word.
I know, it's so well, what was that?
That was static-based applause.
Oh, there's my pickle. Good.
It's official AV equipment now.
I see. Well, I really have missed you. I left California the day before all hell literally broke loose. Drove through all those same cities and towns and freeways and told John, I said, it's only going to take a tiny match to set this place on fire. It's so dry. And it wasn't me. But I just talked to my sister today, and everyone I know is so far hasn't lost their house, but several are evacuated. So California is a beautiful state, but it is in big trouble right now. All praise with them. Also, I missed you. I can't believe how I missed you all. I wasn't gone that long, but I look at you and I just was lonely.
We were here for Halloween. We missed your big girl.
I know. I really missed y'all, and that leads me to. Can I just make a announcement?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
It has an official. And Village and I have gotten together, me and Mark, and I signed another contract. So retirement doesn't look like it's that eminent. However, it's going to be a little less, but not much less, I can tell already. But I am excited that I will still be here. I'm pickling, hooray. All right, I really
Hey, wait a minute, we're excited too. One more round. Now, you didn't feel loved. Come on.
I do feel loved, and
Yeah.
I really love you very, very much. I thought surely by this age I would be in a home. when you're young, you think, my God, I can't possibly still be working at this age, but here I am. Okay, so I don't really have a pickle, but I have an announcement. As you all know, how many watched the video for the broker forum with all the new changes? Nobody. Okay, good. That's a good thing, because then I have more value. But if you do want to have a preview, you can go on Transaction Desk, and the red line versions are all there, which is kind of boring, and I want you to know we didn't change anything too dramatic, but I will be conducting a change class next month. But I'm going to give you a little preview on a couple things right now, so make a note. First of all, for all of you who were so in love with the lot land seller's property disclosure statement, it's gone. Oh, I know, that's a bummer. The reason is it's not required by the state, and it is unfair of us as realtors to require sellers to do things that legally they're not required to do. Doesn't mean it's not a good idea, but it is not something that a seller needs to do. In which case, they have put some things in the land lot contract to alert buyers to ask for things that they may need to know during their due diligence period. So it's not like you shouldn't be aware of what you need your buyer to know or look into, but there's no official requirement or statement now for a seller to fill out on that. Now, is anybody broken up on the internet? They were a little hurt about that in Tri-Cities yesterday, which is where I was teaching this yesterday. Yes, that was good. And we have 3 new forms, okay? One of which you will never use here at Village. And that one is the exclusive property management agreement. So we don't do property management, but there is a form for that. However, we have a new form, the exclusive right to market for lease, which is not a property management agreement. What it does is gives you the permission and a form to sign to market on MLS for a client if they want to lease it. Now, you're not going to manage it, you're not going to take it past that, but there is a form to keep us safe and risk-free during that particular time period. So if anybody wants to do that for their clients or customers, that is the RF 171, and you do not need to have the E&O edition writer for that. And then, just in case you do see it, it may come across your desk blinking loudly, is the RF 308. And we have, as Village always is, ahead of the curve, because Lloyd put in a wonderful clause.
Yeah.
More than a clause.
Yeah.
It's probably 2 clauses in our base commission regarding wire fraud, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Forms Committee realized what a problem that is, and they have created a whole form for that RF 308. It's the wire fraud warning, and they released that Friday. So it is available, but I don't know if we've had a chance to review and see. Right now, we're safe with ours, so I don't know.
Through the end of the year, you can use either. Yeah.
But will they need, is ours sufficient?
Ours is sufficient, but we're going to be looking, the broker team's going to be looking at revising our forms so we can have new forms roll out concurrently with 2022.
Right. Aren't you all excited? More forms. Yes. Yeah, I can't wait. But we are getting better. And somebody in Tri-Cities asked me yesterday, I just want you to stand up there, they said, and tell me exactly why you think we have to make changes all the time. And I said, in life or just in the form? And she said, well, the forms for sure. I said, I don't think it's much different than life. Things change, technology's changed, everything changes rapidly, more rapidly than ever before, and we have to keep up. And so our job at the Forms Committee and at TAR is to make sure, or TR, is to make sure that, that we don't have to think hard to keep ourselves protected and protect our clients. And I mean that because we try to create a form for everything and wording that will keep everyone safe and out of trouble. So I hope you can appreciate it. When we say there's a new form, please don't groan, say yay for us. And I'll see you later. Bye.
That's right. All right. Form segment. Come on in. I love how you wait for the transitions to jump in the seats. That's perfect. Just like church, right? Yeah. You don't want to go in the middle of the sermon. Bobby, thanks for that. It occurred to me that when Johnson City, when Johnson City was complaining about the changes and all, and how they reacted to changes, did you ask them that you want to think about this? Would you please fax you the questions?
Yes.
And I just want you to know.
Yeah,
I got to
okay.
say something to contrast.
How many people have had somebody ask to have something faxed this year? It's still out there. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
Now, I do want you to know that I asked all 95 people in that class yesterday what kind of days the contract was speaking of. And unified, all together, not one person missed it. They said, calendar days. I was impressed. They knew.
Calendar days. I love it. Where's Colin? There you are, right there in the wings. Wait. So, again, another lovely and talented lady. And this is Colin for you.
Hello. Thank you. As I say, it's my weapon in a dark alley. Fashion and self-defense all in one. I will be brief. We have a lot to cover today. We do have one guest, Steve Morris. Please raise your hand. And we have an agent that just joined us at HPV, Chris Escada. Welcome. And a couple of new agent housekeeping items. We do have, if you've joined Village since June 5th, we have a new agent event on Thursday at 5 o'clock here in the Learning Loft. There will be cocktails. There will be hot chicken. Just saying. And then also we do have orientation this week, also on the 15th. So if you you've joined Village and you haven't been through orientation, this is orientation month, and then we will offer it again in January. So orientation this Thursday, be there or be square. And if you have never been through orientation or it's just been a really long time and you want to come sit in, you can do that too. It's not quite the same as Jumpstart, it's more village-centric, but anyway, for those of you, it's been a while. And also, we will have your 60 seconds to talk amongst yourselves and introduce yourself to someone you do not know. Thanks.
Did everybody get that? If you're a new agent this past year, you get the conference. It's going to be great. Okay, so I am so happy to talk about our next guest because this is something that we do every year, and you know that it's kind of central to who we are because this company tends to blend really well with our core beliefs here. So without too much hype and overdoing this thing, because I know you guys are excited to hear them speak and to also see their wares, I'm going to ask for Thistle Farms to come on down. Where are they maybe around the corner? Yeah, let me check. I think they're around the corner. Hold tight. Oh.
My wife has just taken over as the chair-elect of Thistle Farms.
Yeah, I heard some static and I turned it off. Rebecca? All right, we're going to go old school analog. So I spoke to Thistle Farms around the corner, and what they would prefer to do is have one-on-one conversations as you guys come over to the bar. So they have all of their wares set up. How many people have been here for a Christmas with Thistle Farms before? Many people. So if you're wondering what that is, you can definitely get details from your neighbor. But these are outstanding gifts that you can use for your clients. They have candles, they have lotions, they have all kinds of things that they create in-house using folks that are very distressed workers and giving them jobs and opportunities to lift themselves up. And I want you to go talk to those people over there at the bar to find out the details because it's some real magic that they do there. And I'm very proud of the work they do. I will definitely be shopping at that bar later. So, because I'll be here all morning. I'll be getting the scraps. You guys get the first run at it. So, only because it's Thistle Farms, I want you guys to feel free to get up during the meeting and go visit with them at the bar. And definitely after the meeting, you'll have all the time in the world in there, okay? So they're set up over there at the sink area bar that is in that back corner of the building. And they're over there right now. And we have Phil and Jenna. And Jenna, Phil, are you going to come up here and introduce Jenna? Yeah. Let me see if I've got the microphone working for you. Yep, we're back up. Here you go, up here.
Yeah. Good morning, Village comrades. Phil Ryan with Village Commercial Real Estate. And we help folks buy, sell, and lease commercial real estate in Middle Tennessee. But recently I had the good fortune to bring a great landlord in Hillsborough Village, this side of Hillsborough Village, 1907, 21st Avenue, opposite Belmont United Methodist Church. A great landlord in an old building with the Lotus Room, which is a woman-owned local business represented and owned by Miss Jenna Wolf today. And periodically we want to bring some of our commercial customers that are in the area that you work, and just so you know that about them and what they've done, their connection to our village family. So I in fact had a Thai massage Saturday morning at the Lotus Room.
You look relaxed.
Yeah, right. Well, I was relaxed Saturday.
Okay.
That's about all you can get. But anyway, Ms. Jenna Wolf is going to tell us about the business.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for having me. And I feel honored to have met Phil and how Ian introduced me to my landlord, James. The Lotus Room opened in 2011. We are a massage studio that specializes in Ayurvedic bodywork. So similar to kind of your Chinese medicine tradition, Ayurveda is the holistic medicine out of India. So we have our own herbology, we have our own bodywork practices, and as you heard Phil say, we offer Thai massage, which is special to Thailand. So I've trained all over the world in different bodywork practices, brought them back to Nashville, and have trained all my therapists in these practices. So we offer everything from your traditional relaxation, deep tissue massage, to some more kind of out there treatments that involve a lot of oil, which is really, really wonderful, especially if you're stressed out or have anxiety, can't sleep. We have special treatments for kind of different, just common ailments for the everyday person. We also offer memberships. So if you're like a fan of Massage Envy, but you don't feel like you're getting what you need there, we have now started offering memberships at our studio to kind of help bolster that and get you guys in regularly, because we believe that healed people heal people, is what we say. So the more that you invest in your healing practice, the more that that's going to just kind of cause a ripple effect in your immediate world, and then your client's world, and all the people that you touch throughout the day. So I did bring some business cards with me. I guess I'll leave them with Phil, so you guys can come and grab them with him. And I'm offering $5 off to all the Village realtors here off your first session to come and see us. So if you just show the receptionist your business card, we'll get you $5 off any session, and we would love to see you.
If I were looking for a Thai massage, 60 minutes, is that about the entry level time?
Yeah, we offer 60-minute, 90-minute. We also offer 2 hour.
Holy cow. Oh my God. It's been a long summer, right? Yeah. It might be time for 2 hours just for you. Okay. And so if I were interested in a 60-minute massage, how much would that be?
So our base price is $85. That would be a relaxation. Deep
Okay.
tissue and Thai are $95.
Okay, good deal. So that'd knock it down to 80 and 90 for us, right?
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Thank you so much, Jen. Yeah. So that's the Lotus Room, everybody. And not only the Lotus Room, but you heard Phil talk about the Village commercial. This may be the first time that you guys have seen this logo, but they're over in the corner, actually just on the other side of Thistle Farms this morning. That's where their office is. And they have all kinds of knowledge when it comes to commercial, okay? So what I want you to avoid when you go see them is, hey, I have a deal that I have no idea how to handle because it's in the commercial world, and I want you to teach me so I can get all of the commission, right? Right? I mean, how many people have had other agents come to you and you're like, oh, that's kind of a raw deal, right? But what you can do is go to them and say, hey, I don't have any knowledge, but I have these leads. How would you like to partner with me on this deal so we can all put food on our tables? And that sounds like a good deal for everybody, right? All right, good deal.
And Lloyd, yeah, we'll get $5 off too.
Tell you what, Abe Lincoln's doing some work today, man. He's making moves, making money moves. All right, so we have Chris in the hub coming up next. Oh, he scratched? Okay. All right. Did you scratch him or did he take himself off?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. All right. All right. We'll definitely get him up on another meeting. So Allison Lambert's coming up to talk to us about a project, and I hear this one's pretty exciting. David, are you talking about this one too?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Is it just you? It can't be. I'll stand up here with you. Here, use the mic. They want to hear you, man.
All right, before we get going on this, I got a Johnson City story.
Let's hear it.
So I made an offer out of these people, cash buyers, been looking with them for like 4 or 5 months, and make an offer on a place, and we get the counter back, and the agent is Remax Elite. No, not Remax Elite, Remax Checkmate, which I've never heard before. It's hilarious. I'm calling all my friends. Listen to this, Remax Checkmate out of Johnson City. Back and forth, 2 counters, we get down to the end, and she goes, we're going to accept the offer, my people are done, it's going to close in a week. She goes, but we take 2.5%. Checkmate. Yeah. So be careful, you make fun of faxing and all that.
That's wacky. Did she fax you the offer?
Yeah, no facts.
Okay.
Checkmate. There's nowhere to go. All right. We're paying 2.5% solid. No. All right. So this is Silo Bend. 51st Avenue is like right here, dead ends into where Frothy Monkey is, and all that Stocking 51. And if you turn left on Centennial, you come down here. These apartments are up. People aren't living in them yet, but they're up. And then this is a boat trust building. It's going to have restaurants, shops. The best way to describe it, I think, is it's kind of like a smaller version of like a Cummins station or something. So it'll be interior hallways and all that. But and then this back is a boiler room, and just kind of like a bigger, like it reminds me of Roth & Daughters, the way the building looks, but like a bigger version of that with vaulted ceilings and then like a beer garden and all that out here. So this is the front of the property, and then on the back is what we have. And so we have Silo House, which is 103 condos, pool, fitness center. Those start at 185, and then we have the first 49 homes. They start at 309 for a townhome, and the houses start at 359. And then after that phase, we're going to have another 39 houses, and then we'll finish off the river here. But it's just going to be a really cool project, something that'll kind of happen over the next 2 or 3 years. This first phase is looking at a completion of this time next year. We wanted to go ahead and get it out to all you guys because we haven't listed it on MLS, but we have sold some, and I wanted everybody at Village to know about it.
Hey,
This was the first.
Back on that last map, what is this, the actual silo in relation to that map?
So this,
Maybe you can show on that one.
That's what it shows.
No, go back. Go to the one. Go over.
The next one.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I was thinking at first. So here's 51st. The silo is actually it's right there.
Okay.
So the site, comes down over there, and there's even talk of like putting a restaurant in the bottom of that, which would be really cool. The landowner wants to do that, but it's just it's a really expensive endeavor to make it usable again. So
Yeah.
but this kind of shows you, the overview of it all and just coming in exactly where it is. If you drove over there.
Incidentally, the new village office is right here.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't been there, that's the one where the purple mural is.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is the first phase, and this is the pricing that we're handing out. Go back one real quick. So these are the orange homes, and then if you go, this is it, and this is the first phase of it. So this is straight out 49 total, but there are I think 23 in this first phase, and this is what we have. Yeah, these are some of the exteriors. 2-car garage on the 3-story stuff, and then we have interior stuff that's 2 stories on courtyards and some townhomes as well. Yeah, Allison has the pricing, and if anybody's interested, we 2.5% to go to contract, and then 2.5% at framing.
Just like Johnson City.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
What's the time frame on the first bounce of units? What do you think?
So the condo building has to get all the way to the finish line, like the corridors and everything have to be done. So I think we'll close houses first, just because they're gonna have. So we may be closing some houses in like August. I think all depends on how far we get under a roof on the condo building, but I think it's probably this time next year.
So if I have somebody under contract with a condo building and I want to flip them to a house, can I do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's an upgrade, right?
Yeah,
Hey, you can do that on a change order.
we can absolutely do that. What?
Is parking for condos assigned, or is it covered, or what's the?
So it's not covered, but it is assigned. So 1 per bedroom. It's all right here. And then same with the houses. If you don't have a garage, your parking is also assigned.
So where would guest parking?
So we have a couple guest parking spots in here. The street has guest parking all up and down it and all around here. And then obviously like this is retail, and it's going to have a ton of parking there too. Yeah.
Where can I get this collateral and photos and stuff?
We can email you this. Just get with me after.
Hey, if you just want the slides, we can pull it and put it on.
We're gonna get. The website's gonna go live in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, but it's just been a splash page, and this is one of the things that'll be on it. But yeah, we can get you that.
Yeah. David, one question for me. So you said some things were going to go on the Cumberland River. Can you give us a teaser as to what that might look like? No commitments.
Right. So we don't know. The SP allows for like 420 units, which would mean we could do like 2 condo buildings here and there. But depending on how these sales go and the parking setup over there is different, so you have to do structured parking. So My guess is maybe one condo building and then houses with rooftops. So this would be kind of the final phase. You're looking out over the river. It's like a 70-foot bluff down to the water. But you can see it like even just standing up there. So I'm thinking the second floor of these houses and definitely up in the condo building. You can definitely see it. It's cool.
I just heard our insurance expert love that 70-foot bluff. No
Right.
flood, right?
No flood.
Yeah.
No flood.
All right. Any other questions?
So there's no access to the river from that location because of the big drop and
No.
Army Corps mentioned.
Well, there is. You just have to be intentional.
You got to be in there. The prices drop.
All right. Good job, you guys. Solid practice. Come get it now before it goes live. I love those little sneak peeks that we get. So speaking of our insurance expert, are you going to talk to us about floods today, Brian?
No.
It's for a brand new haircut, by the way. This might be the closest I've ever seen that haircut.
Yeah, now I know what 3/4 of an inch is.
All right.
Morning, everybody. One quick thing about the disasters in California. When you ever hear me talk about stress testing your insurance policy, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people, they have nothing left. They don't even know where their insurance is. So if you ever should happen to come across your own insurance policy, pull it out and go, if that was me, what would happen? And I think that's a good thought to do. And if you don't know, you know where to find it. This is something that, okay, I'm going to do the Samuel Jackson thing, what's in your homeowner's policy. So this comes up a lot, and this is something that came across my desk several months ago. This is a tall skinny over in the Gulch area, in the high value area. Home was insured at the full sales price of $855,000 because more than likely they could have gotten a 100% loan because they could have been a doctor, they could have been an athlete. A lot of these banks will give 100% financing. So what probably happened was the lender called the insurance person and said, we want our loan covered. I don't insure loans. I insure property. So the annual premium on this was about $3,000. They had no clue. They just knew the house was insured. So what happens, and you can't read this, it's a scan, not a fax, it's a scan. But the replacement cost on this house was only $484,000. That's one of the problems with tall skinnies is you're paying a premium for the location and the new construction. Fair? So a $350,000 tall skinny may only cost $225,000 to rebuild. So in this situation, I run these on every one of the referrals you send me because my job is to insure it to 100% replacement. Whoops, what happened?
Wow, that's
I know. What did I do?
I'm not sure.
Okay, can you try it again? Okay, again, you can't see this, but I insured the house for $480,000. So what would the lender say? I want my loan covered. No, the house is insured to 100% replacement. As a matter of fact, I put guaranteed replacement on it, meaning regardless of what it costed to rebuild, and think California. Regardless of what it costs to rebuild, the company is guaranteed to rebuild this house. I love this word, especially when an insurance company puts it out there, which means they're on the hook for it. Oh, by the way, the premium was only $1,600, so I saved them about somewhere between $1,400 and $1,600 for them being overinsured by almost $400,000. So when a lender will come to me and say, you know, we need our loan covered, I don't insure loans. So when I send your clients their homeowners quotes, you'll always see beside it a replacement cost estimator, and I carbon every one of you that are sending me opportunities. So here's, okay. Takeaway. Home was overinsured by $375,000. Reconstruction costs are significantly less. The home now has guaranteed replacement. This is a big thing. Lenders often require they want their loan covered. No, we don't insure loans. As long as I submit a replacement cost estimator, they cannot ask for more coverage. They have to accept that. So That's me. Have a great week. Thank you.
All right, time to talk title. So Loy is passing out a document that's got some information on it that I really wanted to make sure that everyone received.
Make sure everybody got 2 pages.
Has everyone received 2 pages? Awesome. All right, so we're kind of going to take things back to basics in a way and just talk about title insurance. And title insurance, like other insurance, it has levels of coverage. You can get base coverage, which we call our standard policy, or you can always pay more to get more coverage, just like any other insurance. So this is going to show you on page 2, it compares the standard policy versus the enhanced policy, which this company calls the Eagle policy. Now, in title insurance, there's only 2 levels of insurance, which is what you see here. So it's not super complicated. There's standard, and then there's I want to pay more for more coverage. That's pretty much it. Now, the commercial world tends to have add-ons, but that's really it. So it's pretty simple, just standard and the enhanced. So one thing about title insurance is that generally it protects the title to your property from the point that you received it backwards. So like insurance that Brian is doing is covering you in the future for future things that happen. But title insurance is insurance for the past of your property to make sure that everything is legal, valid, clear, and good to go. But one thing about the enhanced policy you'll see here on the Eagle line there is that it does cover post-policy issues. So this policy does cover things in the future. So after your client moves in, moving forward, it does cover some things, which is a pretty big deal on that. Now, cost-wise, the difference is 20%. So if your standard policy is $1,000, the enhanced policy is $1,200. Math check? Yes. All right, good. So this is good to look over this. Maybe when you're having some coffee, you just want to kind of breeze through and look over some of these things. Sometimes you may have a client that is really worrying about this title, or it's got some issues in the past, and maybe the enhanced policy is going to fit your client's needs a little bit better than the standard policy. Now, something to keep in mind is that the standard TAR contracts, when you're talking about title insurance in there, it says standard policy. So when you're saying that seller's paying for title insurance, they're paying for the standard policy. It will not automatically be your choice of either or. So you may have to either request that the seller pays for the enhanced policy or have your client pay that extra. If it's only 20% difference, it may not be that much at all, and maybe they can just pay that and they can feel comfortable having the extra coverage on there. So just want to make sure you get this in your hands today. If you want to look through and you have any questions, you can always call me and we can chat about it. And if you have any clients that are really tuned into this type of thing, they can always call us and we can go over this and figure out what's the best coverage for them. Thanks.
What is the percentage more in average?
20%.
Oh,
yeah, it is 20%. That's actual price difference there. So whatever your standard policy is, which we can quote that for you if you don't already have a calculator that you're using, and it's just 20% more of that. Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right. Good deal, and that's handy to have. Keep this in your toolbox because this gives you all of those different attributes that an Eagle policy or an enhanced policy has. And you probably mentioned it while I was handing these out, but Fidelity also offers an enhanced product too, right? Yeah, that's great. So Smart Sheets, by the way, your new listings, and I know a lot of you have been troubled in putting those new listings into Smart Sheets this morning, but it's back up. You got yours to go in, right? So anybody that wants to put in a new listing, we're just going to get those at the end because of our technical problems we've had with Smart Sheets. It's not us, it's on the Smart Sheet sides of things. So take a few minutes and get those in right now while we have Angela come up and talk about our construction issues. Yeah, thanks for that.
Good morning. So I noticed that we talked about a lot of new construction this morning, and I want to talk today about the pre-drywall walkthrough. I know we talked about the pre-construction meetings and things like that, but this is a very important walkthrough as are all the walkthroughs, but this one is where you catch a lot of things that are harder to change after the drywall goes in. And you really want to be with your buyers or clients to ensure that they get everything that they're wanting, because if you have to have an electrician come back out after the house is built, you're going to pay at least $75 to get them out there, so that $50 outlet that you were going to upgrade to doesn't sound so bad. Things to look at when you're at your pre-drywall walkthrough. Sometimes they divide it up into like an electrical walk and a plumbing walk, and then just a pre-drywall walkthrough.
Woo, that's tough.
I don't know. I'm getting tongue-tied. You want to be sure all of the structural changes that you might have done at contract are there. You also want to look at door heights. Are the walls that you eliminated gone? Are the walls that you added there? You just want to be sure that all of that stuff is done for the structural stuff. If you had a ceiling drop down, like you have some real pretty tray ceiling going up, be sure that's all trimmed in. Also, you want to look at plumbing. A lot of times people will go to selections and add that, sink in this area, or something that requires plumbing, like a refrigerator in the garage. A lot of people forget to have that water line going if they want an ice maker in that. So just look at all the things you added plumbing-wise and be sure that that plumbing's there. Because once the flooring and stuff goes in, you don't want to have to go back in and rip that up, especially if it's a slab or something like that. It can be really tough. For the electrical low voltage, these are probably the main things you're going to look at. There's a lot of things that people don't think about when they go into these walkthroughs. For instance, you go into a closet, there's never outlets, and if you have a huge walk-in closet, I have one outlet in my closet, and I wish I had more, because we have all the things now that you want to like plug in and charge and all that, and you just don't have outlets. A lot of people want to have an ironing board and stuff like that. If they have a great big closet, they can't do that because they don't have any outlets. Another place is the garage. A lot of people don't add enough. Usually you get 2 outlets in a garage, or 1. So you really want to be sure that you have all your electrical outlets in where you want them. A lot of times in a laundry room, you do not have enough outlets, because you're going to get like your dryer outlet, your washer outlet, and then you have no more to plug in an ironing board if you have a big enough laundry room to do that. Pantries is another good place that if you want to add outlets. When you're in the kitchen, you want to be sure that, did you add appliances again? Or do you want under cabinet lighting, above cabinet lighting? Any of those things are really inexpensive on the front end. If you have any ceiling fan wires, it's always good to do ceiling fans, because a lot of times you have a ceiling fan, you want it blocked so there's support there for that ceiling fan, so it's a little more stable for you as well, and it holds the weight. But you also want the switches separate, so if you have a light kit on that, you want 2 separate switches for that, one for the light and one for the fan, so you're not having to pull the chains all the time. And I'm just trying to think. Another thing I think people forget is like outside lighting, where you have, a lot of people have their gas grill and they put the gas line in, they remember that, but then they don't have a light for the grill and they're out there cooking in the dark and you can't see what they're cooking. But outside lighting I think is very important, because it's easily missed, because you're usually walking through the house, you're not outside, but oh, I need some lighting in this area, because usually they're going to put them by your doorways. And be sure if they don't want a photo seal, which is like a dusk to dawn sensor on the light fixture. So it's a great thing to have, because then your lights just automatically come on at night, like in your back alleyways with garages. Some developers require that, but some don't, and it's just nice to have that when you're coming in your house. I was just trying to write down things that people forget.
So like you, and these are things that make us look great if you're in
Yes.
David, do you have a lot of requests for those kind of things in new construction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just get more and more nervous the more secrets you're telling me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are upgrades, so they usually like them. And some. What am I doing?
That was the sensor. You said something.
Okay. I didn't like that. Well, again, with the refrigerators, talking about, then I shake. sacrifice to do this, and you're only one. And another thing with the refrigerator, be sure you have dedicated outlets in those garages for the refrigerators, because if you have those GFCIs, Doc, then your refrigerator, you lose all your food. So do dedicated outlets for those refrigerators. I just wrote a whole bunch. I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but I'm just trying to think of things that you may forget. Hallway lighting, a lot of people like those lights going up the stairs. Those are great to put on photo sills as well, so they're dusted on, so they automatically come on. Storage. I can make a list. Yes, and I want y'all to help me review it so I don't forget anything. Storage lighting. A lot of houses have those like extra spaces above the garage, things like that. They're going to put one light in those. And if there's any little offsets, there's no lighting in those. So I think those are great areas to, even if you're just adding a light bulb light, just some lighting. Because it's dark in there when you're trying to get your Christmas stuff out or your Halloween stuff out. It's just great to add that lighting up in attics.
What's the average cost for clients to add those kind of?
Well, I would say a lot of outlets. Now, I mean,
I know it's
just going to depend on, but I mean, probably like $50 an outlet. Things like that. Can lights can go up. It just depends. I mean, I don't know some builders out there. Every builder is going to be different. But these are so important at this point because it's so easy to put in. I know it's going to feel like you're being nickeled and dimed to death, your clients are. But when you're talking $50 an outlet or $75 or surround sound wiring, things like that, if people are going back in and doing that, they're replacing drywall, trim, paint, and you're paying that fee for them just to come out for an outlet. Floor outlets are really important. This is a great time for floor outlets as well. I'm just thinking things this way. So anyways, there you go.
I'll tell you what, those are some great tips, and if you do that on the front end, that not only helps your clients avoid a lot of hassle, but instead of coming out of pocket for those later upgrades that are more expensive, they get to, on the front end, roll it into the loan. Yeah, that's awesome. So so you'll be helping them out that way too. And, you know, they move into the house that they love rather than the house they can't plug anything into. You know, I was thinking when you were saying that, you said that in your neighborhood you have refrigerators with water lines in the garage and iron boards in the closets. I think we live in
my
different
neighborhood.
neighborhoods.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I definitely do not have an iron board in my closet, I promise you that. So we're going to do some new listings, but while we're pulling it up, Steve, I think you have a broker open today, don't you?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, I got lunch, grab and go bags from the grilled cheesery over 2805 27th Avenue South, right down Woodlawn on the left. That's awesome. There we go, right down Woodlawn on the left, 2805 27th Avenue. And if you want to try your free drywall walkthrough, you just want to test it out, we've got one under construction right next door that you can walk in and take a look at as well. So, 11 to 2 today, pretty much.
Oh, that's great. What's the sales price, list price on that one?
$1,136,000.
Gotcha. $1,136,000. That's nice. How many people would hate that commission, right? Yeah, hate it.
Really bad.
Sion is out of town. Where did he go? Did he go back to the motherland?
Yeah, he's stopping, going to Israel by way of Germany.
Oh, gotcha. Germany and Israel. So it's that time of year where things have settled down for us a little bit. We can finally get in those vacations if you don't have kids and took fall break. So Sion has 759 Harpeth Knoll Road, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1775 square foot Pearl. It's a Pearl, guys. An amazing renovation, all hardwood and granite, will not last. Photos available on Facebook. So that's in Bellevue, and that's $429,900. And then
I can tell about this one because this is in my neighborhood.
Oh, I love it.
This one is in West Haven. It is hard to find. It's spelled incorrect. It's one word, but it is hard to find a house that has a lot of natural light because the houses have like the shorter windows on one side of privatized courtyards. This has a ton of natural light, and it also is next to common ground. So you feel like your courtyard goes on for days because there's common ground next to it that actually is maintained by the HOA, which is really nice and hard to find in West Haven. So really nice open floor plan, some two-story ceilings in this house, which is hard to find in West Haven as well. 3-car garage, huge plus in West Haven.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Iron and board in the closet.
Yeah, you might want to check. I hear there's a water line in the garage and an iron board in the closet in every home in West Haven. In the
It
lower
does have
100s.
a resuck pump in this house, which you'll have the instant hot water in your for your
Man.
water heater.
You guys are wild down there. You know every house in West Haven, don't you?
Well, I sold it for 5 years.
It's a little spooky. Yeah. All right. The recycling pump on that one too. Paul, where
We're not
are you?
recycled.
Way back there in the back. I'm coming. I'm coming.
You're gonna start
Give me just a
moving.
second.
There we go, sir.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so this is originally built in 1954. It's all modern, contemporary finishes, very custom work. Open floor plan, natural lighting. It's got a couple of unique features rather than the unique to this giant list. Charred wood, Shisuki bond siding on the exterior and interior. Blackened steel, teak pergola. It's, I would say, 95% new home with old bones on the exterior. It's new electric and plumbing, new ventilation. It's got 200% flexible concrete floors. So it's over a wood substrate. Concrete bends with the wood. Pretty unique. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it shows well, guys. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback. It just hit the market 2 days ago. Just moved right by it. It's 3.2. It's 1427 square feet. That's awesome. Yeah, nice guys.
Good job. 3.2 and 14. How many? 14? 27 square feet. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So I'm going to take a pause for a second because I asked our heroes up here with Rudy and Brian Carden Insurance to give me a number because I need a little help with the giveaway. So your number from 1 to 8 is 8, and your number is 5. So I'm going to take my swag and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're our big winner. So that is $100 in swag. That's right, $100 in swag. We're just trying to keep these things interesting, right? Let's see. We've got some calendar items. Oh, no. I'm sorry. We got to finish these up. I paused. So, Scott, you're up next, and you've got $1 million views in the $1 million range. It seems priced right. Where are you, Scott?
It's priced right.
Yeah, that's right.
A view per dollar. So, this place is incredible. It's sort of nondescript as you walk to the front of it, but when you go inside, it opens up into an amazing place. And the whole back wall is windows overlooking the lake with blue herons flying by and boats and stuff like that. A tiny bit ambitious for our little village because we don't have a lot of $1 million listings, but they're starting to creep up there. But, if somebody wants to be over in that area, but not a 100-year-old house, this is a great one. There's your description. Anyway, just super cool custom updates, lots of tech stuff, a lot of room. I don't remember how many bedrooms and baths, but 4 or 5 of each. We haven't really done a big detailed walkthrough yet, but we're going to do that this week. So anyway, if somebody wants to live on the lake, not a whole lot of places left, this is the great one. There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was reading here, your parenthetical. Fun people can wave to boats from the bathtub. Is that right? So that's a perfect house for slingers, right?
We actually talked about that. Not the swinger part. But
no, slingers.
Slingers.
You've seen the commercial, right? We sling. Yeah. And let's see, Scott. I think I saw you in the back. There you are.
Hey, we've got a commercial office building coming up in the middle of Berry Hill, right across from Azalea Park. It's rented right now for a medical company. There's several office spaces throughout. There's parking for about 10 cars in the front of the building. Faces the park. There's a full bathroom and a full kitchen there. With a wire speed of 65. Thanks to Emily for helping me out on that.
100% tenant ready? 100% occupied?
It is, but it won't be. We'll let them out of the lease.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's going to convey tenant free. All right, good deal. And Stephanie Wright, here you are. I'm not sorry your smiling face.
so we've got 1113 Eastdale coming in about 2 weeks, the week after Thanksgiving. It's a 1935 brick two-door, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The entire upstairs is a remodeled master suite. They did that about 2 years ago. There's a new HVAC system in the upstairs with the suite up there. Everything is a completely remodeled kitchen. There should be an induction double oven, tons of cabinets, pull-outs, all the fun stuff. There is the unfinished basement, radon mitigation. You're going to get all the appliances. It is in Dan Mills, Jackson Park subdivision, and everything like that. I think that's it, but we're going to come in about 2 weeks.
All right. That's awesome.
And we will do free market showings the Tuesday and Wednesday after Thanksgiving, so the 27th and 28th.
Your R was upside down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that spells, but I know you just want the R right.
Oh.
Okay, we need a refresh because I saw a couple others pop in. At least one more, right? Oh, Ellie and Randy. Who's going to be talking about?
I'll be Randy.
All you?
I'll just be Randy.
Can you do it without the mic? I think you can.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
So if anybody needs a one-bedroom on Long Boulevard, great location, obviously, at the park in Vanderbilt. This is priced right, absolutely priced right. There's stainless steel Genair appliances that's an upgrade. There's a washer and dryer, and the grill is all included. Just a great one-bedroom. It's priced really appropriately. So if you have anybody, let me know.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. Hey, leave that up for just a second. Tyler and Lee, look at me. And I need you guys to collaboratively give me a number between 1 and 7. Oh, there is deep thought. 3, okay. Who's our third new listing today? Paul Davidson. All right, good job. Paul, you're getting more flexible concrete. You're getting $100 in swag. Love it. Congratulations, Paul. Yeah. All right, so that's all of our new listings, and we have some calendar items coming up. Oh, this is one of my favorites, and one of yours too, I know it, because I hear it all the time. So short-term rentals. I know you have clients talk about it, investor clients especially. If you are listing a property and it's short-term rental eligible, or you want to know whether it's short-term rental eligible, this is going to be a great opportunity for you. So that's going to be immediately following the meeting, 10:30 today, so just about 15 more minutes. Deborah's going to kick that off. Deborah's unbelievably knowledgeable when it comes to short-term rentals. I used to keep up with this stuff a whole lot, but I'll be honest with you, because she is so plugged into it, I just rely on her for my legal advice now when it comes to short-term rentals. She is really tuned in, so thank you, Deborah, for doing that for us and being our resource for short-term rentals. And then coming up for the rest of the week and looking forward, we've got Wednesday, November 14th. That's going to be the Collaborative coming up at 9 a.m. If you are in clubs, Collaborative is its companion. It's like its twin. That's where everybody gets together and does Clubs on Crack right there. So make sure you come in for Clubs on Crack, also known as Collaborative. Pro Bowl, that's going to be coming up on Wednesday, November 14th at 11 a.m. And then orientation. How many new folks do we have in here that have not been to orientation or Jumpstart? Anybody in the room? All right. You guys are definitely going to be there for orientation, right? Awesome. You're going to have lovely and talented Bobby Noreen leading that with Colin, I think, in this one, right? Yeah. So Colin's going to be there too. You get a 2-for-1 deal in orientation. Then we have our V-Lab coming up on Thursday the 15th. And that's going to be at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And that's going to be Transaction Desk, again taught by Brent Cooper. He just nails that class. So if you have any questions at Transaction Desk, you just can't get it to jump and fetch the way you want to, come in and Brent will help you out with that. I'll be here in this room, and it is a hands-on workshop. So make sure that you bring your laptop when you come for Transaction Desk. And then, of course, Brent's coming in for the VMET training, too. VMET training, and that's going to be here, too. Also, a laptop class, so make sure you bring that in. And I think that's all we've got.
I want to say one thing before you get to chug and chug or whatever.
Okay, all right.
I just spent my obligatory, over 5 digits. No, yeah.
5 digits? Was there a
4
comment?
digits in Thistle Farms. And you all know Thistle Farms is out here. I did my Christmas shopping, at least some of it. I love them. And so don't forget to stop by. They've got a wonderful new product that I couldn't resist.
That's amazing. That is amazing. It never hurts to tout them again because of all the very good work they do. Of course, we've got the Jug and Chug coming back. And that's going to be this Friday, the 16th. The 16th. We only have 2 more of these guys. So it's a cool time just to get together and talk about your week, collaborate, learn how to juggle a little bit. And Mark is trying his best to be there for all of these. And he is a master juggler instructor. So make sure if you want to get engaged with that you come by on the 16th or the 30th. Only 2 more of those coming up. And then lastly, we have the 22 in review. I am so pumped about this. So pumped about this. So this is going to be Thursday, December 6th. If you don't have that in your calendar, put it in there now. Because this party, our Christmas party, is always the event to see with Village every year. And if you haven't been before, it will rock your socks, I promise you. And this one, we are enhancing the party. I want you guys to all come there at 6 p.m., by the way. That's your time to arrive, okay? Now, you can come later if you want to. But from 6 to 7, that's where we're going to be focused on doing the Village Fund portion, the Village Fund heavy portion of our 22 in review. And that's where we're going to be giving back to the community in celebration of $2.2 million being collected by the Village Fund. So, and it kind of coincides with our 22nd year here at Village, so it's one big celebration. Again, that's Thursday, December 6th, and that's 6 to 10 p.m. Oh, by the way, there are +1 rules. So if you have another half, if you have a significant other, a wife, partner, go ahead and bring them too. So you definitely get a +1 for this party, and you can make sure that that's known on the RSVP. One other thing that's going to be at Clementine. I've talked about this before, but that's a really trendy new place that has been opened by the same owners as Ruby, and they do a great job right over here in our neighborhood. But on Charlotte, they've opened up a new place called Clementine, so we're really excited to get engaged with that. And, Mark, do you have anything else?
David's going to be featured. He's going to be the top juggler.
All right. Yeah, David Doris. No pressure, right? Yeah. He's been juggling real estate for years. It's time he finally gets some balls in your hand, right? All right. No. All right, guys. That is your 51. Oh, Lee, go ahead.
Elections for board of directors is still going on this month for Greater Nashville Realtors. To make it easy, you can just go to voteforlee.com. As you're over there, I have my iPad with me, so I can help you do that today.
All right.
Do you want to say anything about the, whatever that is?
An amendment?
The amendment?
There is an amendment on the ballot, which was kind of unexpected, but it pretty much says that if you vote yes, the board of directors will, in their all-knowing power, have the ability to change bylaws, yes. I believe, because it's hard to get
without the
memberships vote. So just think about that while you're voting.
Lee, be very careful. It sounds like Bobby has an opinion.
Yes. We vote.
I would not want to impose my opinion on voting, but just think, putting the power of many into one could be a little dangerous. Yeah. So you might want to vote no or
but you for sure want to vote
yes for Lee. That's right. Yes for Lee. And if you have particular opinions about the bylaw amendment, please be sure and talk to Lee about that, because as soon as you give him the power to represent you, he will go in there and represent you in that regard. So, and he is our only member of Village that is in the election this year, so we're so happy to support him. Okay. And he's fresh off of vacation too, so if you want to see pictures, just go to his Facebook page. FYI, he's shirtless in some of those pictures. So yeah.
They're all edited out right now.
All right, guys, that's your 51 minutes. As you wind up, as you leave the room, I want to encourage you to walk through the back hallway and hit Thistle Farms rather than Shore.